Hi, everybody. I'm going to read you a story today. And what's really special about this story is it's not a book, it's a page. And what I like about the story is that you need to use your imagination. And it's fun to use your imagination. If you don't know what imagination is, it's basically using your brain and your mind and your memory to think or to feel what a picture might look like. So, like I said, I don't have any book with pages or pictures, but I have the story on a couple sheets of paper, and I wanted to share it with you because it's one of my favorites. And there's the other side. And the name of the story is called The Little Red House. Once upon a time, there was a young boy who played all day long. One day he got so bored with his toys and his games that he asked his mom, "What can I do, Mom?" And his mother, who was always full of wonderful ideas, told him, "I know about a little red house with no doors and no windows with a star inside. Why don't you try to find that?" So the boy's eyes grew really big and wide with wonder. "Which way shall I go?" he asked. "How can I find a little red house with no doors, no windows, and a star inside?" Well, the mom said, "Go down the lane," and a lane is just like a street. "Go down the lane, past the farmer's house, over the hill," said his mom. "Come back as soon as you can tell me all about your journey." So the young boy started down the lane. He hadn't walked very far when he came to a little girl who was dancing and singing in the sunshine. So he said to her, "Hey, do you know where I can find a little red house with no windows, no doors, and a star inside?" The little girl laughed and said, "No, I don't, but why don't you all go ask my dad? He's a farmer and he might know." So the young boy continued walking until he came to the big red barn. The farmer himself was standing in the doorway looking out over his green pastures, and the little boy said, "Hey, do you know where I can find a little red house with no windows, no doors, and a star inside?" And the farmer laughed. "I've lived a long time, little boy, and I've never seen one, but you know what? Go ask Granny. She lives at the foot of the hill. She knows how to make molasses taffy and popcorn balls and red mittens. Perhaps she can help you." So the young boy continued walking on until he saw Granny sitting in her pretty garden of herbs and flowers. "Oh, please, dear Granny," said the little boy, "do you know where I can find a little red house with no windows, no doors, and a star inside?" Well, the granny was knitting a red mitten, and when she heard the boy's question, she laughed too. "I would like to find that little house myself," she said. "Perhaps you should go ask the wind, because the wind goes wherever it wants, and I'm sure it can help you." Let me turn my page. So the young boy waved goodbye to Granny, and he began walking up the hill. He was beginning to wonder if maybe his mother had made a mistake about the little red house. And suddenly the boy felt the gentle wind at his back, and he called out, "Wind, do you know where I can find a little red house with no windows, no doors, and a star inside?" And the wind replied, "Whoo, whoo, which sounded like, 'Come follow me, come follow me,' to the little boy." So he chased after the wind through the grassy field and into an apple orchard. Here the wind blew at the top of an apple tree and gently shook the large, rosy red apple to the ground. The boy picked up the shiny apple. It was so big that it took both of his hands to hold it, and then he knew. He ran all the way home, grasping his apple tightly in his hand. "Mom, Mom," he called as he entered the house. "I found it! I found it! I found the little red house with no doors and no windows." "But Mom, I don't know if there's a star inside. So Mom took the apple and very carefully she sliced it in half. Ooh, I'm gonna take my apple and I'm gonna slice it in half. I'm gonna be very gentle though. And, oh, now I see the star, exclaimed the happy little boy. I asked the farmer, I asked the little girl, I asked the granny, but only the wind could help me solve the riddle. The little red house with no doors and no windows and a star inside was an apple. And there is the star inside. Isn't that exciting? Now, remember, if you want to see a star inside your apple at your house, you need to have a grown-up use the sharp knife because you could get hurt. And you want to make sure you go down the middle of the apple, not from the stem down. You want to go in the middle, and that will be how you find your star. I hope you enjoyed that story. Bye.